What's going on? Welcome back, everybody. This is David Greenspan, your host of the Mindshare podcast. And hey, season 4, rocking and rolling over here. Additional podcasts available at mindshare101.com and on all the major podcast platforms. This week's episode is sponsored by Kits Keep in Touch Systems and the Buzz Conference. Now, be sure to follow The Buzz on Instagram at The Buzz Conference. Give them a visit at www.thebuzzconference.com. Keep up with everything they're up to, including this upcoming event called Disruption. It is happening on January 12th, 2023. Be sure to get your tickets. Again, go over to www.thebuzzconference.com. We are proud to have The Buzz Conference as an ongoing sponsor of the Mindshare podcast. Of course, Kits is also with us, and right now is the ideal time to sign up for Kits. I mean, hell, when isn't the ideal time to sign up for Kits? But I mean, if you're not already a member, you got to check it out. Our WOW calendars are about to go on sale for early bird ordering. And if you're not already aware of these yet, this isn't just any calendar. Okay. This calendar is going to make your phone ring more than your phone rings on your birthday. I know that sounds kind of like out there, but every single page is custom branded to you, completely personalized to every single one of your contacts. It's got their name in the picture on every single page. It is really, really, really cool stuff. And in fact, this is a big one. We just won an international award. This is actually the second international award we've won for our one-to-one marketing. So again, you got to check this stuff out. It is the best direct marketing available anywhere. And as you start planning for your holiday mailers, which you should already be planning for, well, hey, you got to check these things out. So go over to mindshare101.com, click on marketing, learn more about the Kits WOW calendar, and don't forget that membership has its benefits. And trust me, there's a lot of benefits here. So check it out. As you know, we're on a push to get to 100 reviews on iTunes. I'd like to ask you, if you haven't yet, please take 2 minutes. Go over to ratethispodcast.com/mindshare101. Give us a quick review. Give us a big 5 stars. As always, I just want to say thank you in advance. I also want to take a moment, and this is off the heels of being at the Buzz Conference the other day and having a lot of conversations with a lot of people who were telling me how much they love the podcast. And to all of those, or all of you that are listening to this right now, I just want to say thank you. Grateful for you. I love the fact that you tuned in the show. Love the fact that I'm able to help you, progress during your business. And I want to remind everybody that right now is a really critical time in your business and your personal life. I mean, we're into the home stretch of finishing off our year and wanted to do that on a really, really high note. I mean, we've got an opportunity right now as Q4 just started to really take our business and finish off and hit all of those goals that we set out to achieve, 9-10 months ago, right off the top of the year. Plus, we've got all this planning that we need to do for the new year in 2023, so we can go to even higher notes. So right now is your moment. It takes planning, it takes effort, and well, that's exactly what we do. That's exactly what we do with our one-to-one coaching system. Is we help you plan it all out, we help you action it all out, and we help you achieve it all. So whether you're new in the business, whether you've been around a few years, whether you've been around longer than a few years, Mindshare 101 one-to-one coaching is your answer. So inquire with us today. Go over to mindshare101.com, click on coaching, and one of our Mindshare experience coordinators will be in touch with you. All of that said, today's episode is number 201. He's a passionate, hardworking young professional who values his relationship with every person he has the pleasure of meeting. And he's looked at as one of the dominant forces in the real estate industry. With a big online presence, he's been able to leverage his brand to get to 140,000 plus eyes on his listings weekly organically, which has helped him achieve top results for him and his clients. He's ranked top 35 under 35 in all of Canada, as well as been recognized as the top 2% of all real estate agents in the country. He brings a new level of marketing in the real estate game, which has ranked him in the top 20 for real estate agents on social media. And this has allowed him to speak on stages and share his knowledge with the industry, which is exactly what we're going to be leveraging him for today. So joining me on this episode of the Mindshare podcast is top 35 under 35 and top 2% to Canada Realtor, Mr. Matthew Campoli. Matthew, welcome to the Mindshare podcast.
Thank you, man. What an intro. It's been amazing. I love what you're doing, what you've been doing, and your energy. I feel like I'm soaking it all in right now.
I appreciate you, bro. Seriously, man. Thank you for making it out today. I know, we've been sort of, I guess, crossing paths in the industry, and you got your own show, which we'll get to in a little bit here, so we can definitely promote that and get more people tuned into that. But it's awesome to have you here, dude. And I mean, I just want to dive right into this. Like, how long you been selling real estate? Because you're not an old guy. I mean, you're doing some good shit, but you're a young dude.
Yeah, I'm 17 years old. So yeah, I'm about to hit my sixth year. November 16th will be 6 full years in the business.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Nice. And when you first got in, take us back, okay? Because a lot of people get into this spot where they get into the business, you know, try to find their ways, right? And it's really easy to go to social media and look at what other people are doing. It's really easy to just listen to like your broker manager and go, what do people do? And I look, I'm not going to take that away from anybody. I think find out and seek out as much advice as you possibly can to figure out what the right path is. But where did your first deal come from? Like, what did you do, and what did you do to earn that deal?
So, yeah, like, I mean, I think my story can speak to many, especially those like doubting themselves. I had no business experience, never took a business course, didn't know what an entrepreneur was. I studied history in school. So, jumping into real estate, I didn't know what an interest rate was. Like, I was like green, you know, I had to
Mhm.
like really learn from scratch. And in the beginning, I joined a team, and one of the guys on the team partnered up with me. So that was one of my first purchases. We handled the buyer together. But in terms of my first deal on my own, which wasn't too short after that, sorry, it wasn't too long after that, came from my network. I was a barber while I was studying history at university. A hobby of mine took off, which is barbering, just cutting everyone's hair. Me and my buddies were hitting the clubs, and they all had pretty cool fades. And now everyone just kept coming up to them saying, "Hey, like, where'd you get your hair cut?" And then started asking me, how much you charge?" I'm like, "I guess I can maybe start charging." So it's like $5 in my garage. Anyways, long story short, my barber network that I built over cutting hair for 7 years in total had like over 200 clients. And when I got my real estate license, I was just planting seeds in every one of my clients' heads as I was cutting their hair. So a lot of my business in the beginning came from that network, whether it was them, their cousin, their sister, their brother, their friend. I created like a nice referral source for myself. And that's what got my wheels turning pretty quickly.
Interesting. So hold on, you studied history in school and somehow got into sales.
You know what? So I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, 19 years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so I just bought a car, which is a liability. I was literally like on forums trying to get rims, intake, suit this thing up. And I'm like, all right, let me switch up my mindset here, and let me start to focus on assets. And then that opened up the world of real estate for me. And then I just had like this big network. Like, how can I monetize off all these relationships I'm building? I didn't want to do anything with history because I wanted something with no ceiling. So I'm like, what industry can I get into with no ceiling? I have a larger vision for myself now. I have big ambitions for myself. I don't want to just settle. And at that same time, like kind of in divine timing, my mother, who was always rented my whole life, I lived with her. We lived in basement apartments. We're always like hopping around. She finally purchased her house, and she's like, "Come to the viewing." I was like, "All right, I won't play Call of Duty tonight." I went. um, I just watched the realtor pull up, do his job, and I'm like, "Okay, this seems okay. This seems fun." And I just started researching real estate, and I was like, "All right, there's some pretty lucrative opportunity here. If and it's really up to me at the end of the day. It's me versus me in that kind of business. That's what I like. I want to be able to take full control of my future, and that's why I got into it."
Yeah, I totally get that part, like flying your own flag, doing your own thing. So, okay, so here, because you said something real important there, and I say real important. One, it's a realization that you made. Two, it's a realization that I think that is really important for everybody that's tuned in to really sink in and listen to. You built a network, even though it was a different business, cutting hair. Something caused you to decide to leverage that network. What I guess maybe I'm trying to figure out how to coin the question, but it's like, what made you realize that that network had power for you in growing either the haircutting business and or the real estate business?
I heard a little saying, "Your network is your net worth,"
Okay, cool.
and I tried to really figure out what that meant. And my life has been my girlfriend hates this, but very go with the flow, and everything kind of just happens as it should. And the way the timing just worked out for me, the way ideas started to click and manifest in my own brain, um, it was just kind of like a step by step. So like I didn't have the knowledge of knowing that there is something beyond being a teacher or a doctor or a lawyer until like my early 20s, until I started reading books and doing my own self-development, reprogramming my own mind. And yeah, when I got into real estate, I'm like, okay, I have people here, I have relationships. Like, this is a powerful tool, right? How I can leverage this. And as I started to have this thought process started to expand and grow into different thought processes. And then ultimately I'm like, okay, I'm good at this. I can relate to every single person that sits in my chair. Doesn't matter their age, background, ethnicity, interest level of what.
Mhm.
I had to learn every sport team, every movie, every TV show. Like I was like a chameleon. So like, well, how I'm able to adapt to every single person. Whoever sits in my chair, I can hold down 30 minute to an hour conversation and crush it. And they love me and they come back for that reason. So I have a skill here, and I need to put myself in a business where I'm in front of people and building relationships. So that's kind of how it
Being
happened.
a chameleon. I've been saying that for years, brother. You got to be able to change your colors and be able to adapt to different situations. I mean, look, being in a people business, that's what it's all about. And it's not about being fake with people. You're still being authentic with people, but it's trying to figure out, how am I going to carry this conversation, just like you said. So looking at where you are now, 6 years later, are you still getting most of your business from people you know? I imagine there's stuff that's coming from people you don't know, but if we said that majority, like, percentage wise, I mean, if I threw out a number and said, 79% repeat referral, contact list, network stuff, and then like 10 to 30%, strangers and whatever, is that kind of your ratios? What are your ratios?
Yeah, I would say at least 80% is it's a combination of Instagram and my own network.
Yeah.
The My online profile and platform allows me to stay top of mind. So a lot of the people
Matt, sorry, we call that building Mindshare.
building Mindshare. So I'm building Mindshare every day.
Yeah, okay. I like that, man. I like that.
I have people who hit me up from high school that I haven't spoken to in like 10 plus years. Hey man, you want to sell my house? I'm like, sure. And what online? And then I do have people who I don't know that hit me up from social media. I'm not doing lead gen.
Okay, I want to get into that. I'm going to ask you about that because I want to get into that. Actually, I was going to ask you this, like, and I know your Instagram stuff you're doing great. I think that's probably the first place that I saw you. And then I remember when my cousin mentioned, because he used you to sell or to buy his condo, he had mentioned you to me, and then that's where the dots started connecting there, right? And then I mean, running some similar circles, obviously with a lot of the events and stuff. But what are you doing? Include Insta into that. But if I asked you the more general question, when I said like, what are you doing to build Mindshare every day? What is that strategy? What are you doing? Because I know even in your bio, we sort of talked about like taking marketing to another level. Uh, Dude, I'm all about marketing. Like that's my jam. What are you doing? What's that daily MO looking like?
So I now I know it works. I know
Okay.
people. I know if you want to see from me, want to hear from me. Um, in the beginning, when I first started to take a different approach to marketing, I hated my first real estate video. It sucked. I was just leaning up against a railing, like, "Welcome to blah 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 address. Enjoy the tour." And
Not wanting to move that other hand because like you weren't
it was
sure what
like
it looked like.
it was just like frozen in my pocket
Yeah.
and no movement in my body, just like you know. And I'm like, that's not me. That is not Matt. I hate that. Who is Matt? I'm an idiot sometimes. I have the dumbest humor. My friends can't stand me because of how annoying I can be at sometimes. So like, let me put that comical, funny jokester out there and somehow tied into my real estate. So I had a custom home for sale. It's a big one for me, and I didn't even tell my client. I didn't show him this video because I didn't want him to be like, "Are you? Is this a joke to you?" Because I didn't know the reception. And then I went at it with a funny, hilarious listing video, and it got so much traction to a point where, as I kept doing that stuff, every time I went out, because I do make it a point to be out in public, people would approach me. Hey man, I love this video that you made, and they're talking about a video I made like a year ago. So
That one particular listing video.
yeah, and no,
And
there's
did you put any real rapid fire on this one? Did you put any money behind that to like get that out there? Was that just like it organically sort of like went?
organic, just
Cool. All right.
and then shares.
Yeah.
People like it, they laugh. I'll check out. They share with their friends, right? And that's like the power and like the compounding of all that too. But yeah, so I started to put my authentic self out there, and I started to be the real Matt, started to show the real Matt, and I started to have fun with it. I started to wake up every day even more excited because I could be myself on camera. I started to get way more comfortable on camera. Started the podcast, started all these things, and I just love putting myself out there, whatever capacity that is, whether that's providing value, information, educating, just something stupid to bring light in someone's day. All of that combined, and the consistency behind that, it's been a really good, solid growth, man. It's been a good growth.
So video,
Yep.
social media,
Yep.
you making phone calls on a regular?
In the
You do a
beginning,
lot of calls, you text messages, like you doing that stuff?
yes, I'm on the phone all the time.
Yeah.
Uh, Text message I can get better at.
Yeah.
Phone calls, I need to start setting boundaries for because it's just nonstop. But
Okay, but hold on. Let me just clarify this one, right? Like, is this you going into your database and reaching out, just calling people to say what's up?
I'm a big follow up guy. Always
Okay,
follow
cool.
up.
Money's in the follow up, right?
I have my my low hanging fruits that I will be touching all the
Yeah.
time, and
Yep.
then I have people that I'll circle back to in a couple months. But I'm pretty organized with where my deal flow comes from.
How
Yeah,
much emphasis do you put on your follow up?
a lot, especially in this market.
Like in a day, are you spending like a whole shit ton of time doing follow up?
Yeah, like usually when I'm driving, so I'll squeak it in.
Okay. Yep.
In the car. I like to make phone calls in the car. When I'm at my desk, I like to do stuff on my computer. When I'm with the clients, I like to be with clients. But when I'm in my car, it's either I'm listening to podcasts, a nice good song, or I am banging out phone calls. But yes, I think it's very important, especially in this market, whether you're calling other agents, you're calling your own buyer clients, you're calling sellers to constantly update them on what's going on. Communication is huge.
Yeah, for sure it is. For sure it is. Okay, so to get yourself out there in front of people, we're doing the phone calls, we're doing a shit ton of video, which we obviously see out there from you, which the stuff is great. You're doing the social media stuff, you're very engaged. How much time are you spending on social media in a day?
As a consumer or posting.
Yeah. Let's go there for a sec. Yeah.
Um, so I treat it like a business. I got to get a little bit better of actually scrolling through and providing more
Yeah.
support to my community. I think that's crucial and very important. But for the majority, it's just me, checking out how my stuff's doing, making sure I posted my stuff, making sure I'm on top of my game. I'm checking out, I'm a big story watcher, so checking out other people's stories.
Yeah.
Um, but that's about it. More just staying kind of up to date with what's going on. I'm not going to be scrolling there forever. I don't. It doesn't make me feel good. And then on some of my pages, I do have like my podcast page, for example. We have a team on that, so they're constantly engaging, and I'm
Yeah.
outsourcing that because I do
Yeah.
believe in that, right? But me as a person, like I don't want to be as much as I'm on my phone a lot. I don't want to be just consuming. I'd rather just be. I'm treating it like a business.
And you know what, man? Again, this is one of the definitely the principles that I try to instill in many people, and I'll challenge everybody that's tuned into this right now. Stop picking up your phone and looking at social media first thing in the morning, and stop making social media the last thing you do at nighttime.
Yeah,
And Matt, what you just said a second ago, forgive me, I don't remember the words you used. You said like to make me mad or bother me or something like when you're scrolling, like it upsets me. What did you like? It doesn't. I think you said like it doesn't make me feel good.
yeah. It doesn't make
Right? Same idea. And I'll tell you, I feel the exact same thing. And I'll tell you, because I throw this out there a lot as conversation with a lot of people. Most people are in that exact same boat. They don't feel amazing after they've scrolled a shit ton of social media. They've gone through it. You don't walk away going, yeah, I feel more powerful now. It's almost like you just feel deflated.
Yeah,
Right. So running it like a business is absolutely crucial. And I would say that the action step for anybody into that is, you know, schedule it in your calendar.
yeah,
Put it in there and say, from whatever 9 to 9:30, 11 to 11:30, whatever it is, like that one block of time in your day, 30 minutes. That's when you can go in and do your story scroll, do your social media scroll, connect with people, respond to DMs, do your thing. Now that you've done that, get the hell out. As long as your content went up, you it's under control because there's still a lot of other stuff to do in a day, right? Like, what about email? You put a lot of emphasis on email?
on emailing, like
Yeah.
email campaigns.
Emailing people, focusing on email. Like, is that another business system for you that
I think it's the most formal and organized way
okay.
of communicating. Just it's quick to just book stuff in the calendar. I have my assistant all over that as well. Um, But I love face to face. I love face to face. I love picking up the phone, hearing someone's voice. I'm not the biggest text guy
Yeah,
because
you were saying.
things can get misinterpreted through text.
Yeah.
Especially through the different generations. People can take offense through a text. Like I'd rather call someone.
It's a great point, man.
Yeah.
It's a great point. Email, text message, they both lose context. Like, I think if you got to say something, there's some emotion behind it, it's probably best to pick up the phone. It's probably going to get through to people in the right way rather than like throwing it out there in a message and just hoping that they understand what you meant by that. Right.
Yep.
But with all this, man, like, what's led you to being recognized as a top 2% realtor in Canada? And I mean, first, congratulations to that. Like that's a big recognition. That's something that I think when you look in the mirror and you sort of go like, am I doing it? Am I doing it? Like, am I doing it well? It's one of those things you can say feather in your cap, maybe an old school term, but it's a big thing. So congrats. But like, what does it mean? What does it mean to be the top 2% realtor in Canada? How did we get there?
That's through gross commission. That's through
Okay.
GCI. So
Cool. So bottom line numbers,
it's just
hustle.
based off income, like what you've
Yeah.
pulled in. And then the top 35 is a combination of income and then as well as amount of deals you've done. So they look at different points, but the awards with Royal LePage at least, it's majority do this, but it's through GCI.
Cool. And then again, a lot of that comes back to the fact that you focus heavily on your actual network rather than just going out and finding strangers, right?
Yeah, man, very active with, you know, always talking to people every single day. I'm a big networker. I love to be out in public person, putting myself in environments where I'm meeting more and more like-minded individuals, and just creating a really cool database around me that's consistent. So it's been very consistent. Yeah,
Database and consistency. There's the golden words, man.
yeah,
So, okay, talk about golden words. I got a golden question here because I read this out of your bio, and I definitely use this for the headline of our episode today about how you get over 100,000 people looking at your listings. You've actually specifically said you're earning over 140,000 views a week on your listings.
yep.
I'd say share. I mean, I'm sure there's some stuff that maybe you don't want to share, so feel free to keep it to yourself. But like, I mean, realistically, I think a lot of people probably wonder, like, what, how, what are you doing? How much money are you spending? Like, what's the deal here?
Yeah.
Can you
So
tell us a little bit about that?
like my engagement's good. Like another thing out there, like people, there's like Instagram and the algorithm. The way it works is, especially like if you're buying followers and stuff like that out there, like the algorithm will know. It can tell.
Should we
It,
be buying followers or not?
well,
Thank you. Keep going. Sorry.
it kills your engagement. Like
Absolutely.
it affects your chances at many things in the future. Whether that's a brand reaching out to want to work with you, your own credibility. Like it's just there's so many a number of factors. It's very easy to grow organically. It takes time, like anything else in life.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, I've been pushing Instagram since I first started in the business. I've built up a really nice following for myself, and the consistency brings on a lot of new faces onto my profile daily. And when it comes to listings, I will run ads on those listings, which will drive even more traffic. So
Through
between
Instagram running ads, pardon me. Sorry.
Instagram, yep.
Okay.
So between my organic traffic plus the ad traffic, I'm hitting numbers like this, which is what I bring to my listing presentation because I show my client like, hey, like here's just something else on top of everything else I'm offering is the chance of get this many eyes being on your property.
People must be blown away by that stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's a cool, it's a big number, you know.
It's a great number, dude. So you're doing a good job with it for sure, right? So you're saying a lot of that's organic,
Yep,
and then there is money being spent behind that.
there's
Okay.
yep,
Can we
and then,
can we ask how much money?
oh, $100, $150.
That's it
Yeah,
per listing.
yeah,
Okay. You see, and again, thank you for sharing that because I think it's a big deal because I'm sure there's a lot of people wondering about that. Going, okay, but how much money? Like, is he spending $5,000? No, you were talking 100, $150 as part of like a listing package. I'd say it makes a lot of sense.
yeah. But the key is the reach from just the organic, consistent posting on Instagram. I make it a point to try and post at least every other day. And
Every other day. So you're posting like once, like 3, 4 times a week.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
So, because you do, I know you do a bunch of video. I see
yeah.
your stuff come through,
Mhm.
but you're not out there 2, 3 times, 4 times a day.
A day? No, 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 not a
Okay.
day.
What about your stories? How much emphasis you put on those? Because I know you said you like
I have
all
all
the
kinds.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So it's a number of things. It's the podcast page. They are like extremely consistent. They're posting every single day. They're engaging.
Okay. Maybe that's what I see a lot of too. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I have that hitting people. I have my own page hitting people. I have these sponsored ads hitting people. I am gonna get into with some strategic like Facebook marketers into actual like post like boosting my reels and stuff like that because I have some educational reels, I have some funny reels that I can't boost straight off Instagram. So I'm gonna hit it in different angles to get these numbers up even more.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been blessed, man, with the organic traffic. It's
That's
been
awesome,
good.
dude.
Yeah.
What, one of our Mindshare masters who's in our VIP room right now is asking, what kind of content videos are working really well for you on Instagram?
Um, that that isn't there's an answer. So each person can have their own individual answer. Like for me, it's the funny stuff because
Yeah.
that's just I like
The
to be
funny stuff. Okay. Yep.
humor. I'll make. I feel like my timing on humor is good, so that's my strength. That's a little skill set I have. So I utilize that, and I just put a little real estate twist on it, and people
Cool.
die of laughter. People laugh. Like it
Dude, we'll
gets
get back to that contest in a few moments. Don't worry. I'll bring that one up.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I'll get there. So tell
yeah.
me this then. Talking about, because I know a few moments ago I sort of like stopped you, so we'll get back to that. And then we sort of got into it just now about like how are we getting more views and some of the money that's being spent. So there's the question: are you spending a lot of money uh, running online ads from Google to Facebook, etc.? And again, are you a lead gen guy? So let's talk about that for a few moments because I think again, and let me maybe preface that and say people that are probably watching you and watching the growth that's happening, which has been great, dude. The followers are growing, and obviously you got a lot of videos that are out there. It's growing in popularity. Again, there's a lot of people that'll sit back and want to go, well, how's he doing it? Right. And yes, from the option to be able to just spend a shit ton of money, or, and I love that you brought it up, do not buy followers, the ability to buy followers, though. Sometimes it's like, is it real? Is it this? Is it that? Like, what's the deal there? So I love the fact that you said you don't buy them. You understand the importance of your network. So I come back to that question about like spending money on lead generation specifically. What's your thoughts? What strategy? Talk to me about that for a minute.
I think with a proper system, it's super effective. I don't personally, not, but I will. So I'm at a
You
stage.
will what? Spend money on lead gen?
Yep.
Okay, why?
Because I'm ready to take my business to the next level. I am a solo agent still.
Okay.
I have an admin. I have my own assistant personally, but um, I want to start scaling, and I know the importance of scaling, and I know proper systems that work, which involve inside sales agents, banging out phone calls, booking appointments, all of that, right? So that is my next step. And if I do want to build a team, I want to be able to supply them with a healthy amount of business. I'm willing to put the marketing dollars behind that. So in that kind of setup, I think it's crucial.
Okay.
Personally, right now, I'm so my time is eaten up. I don't like, and I've wasted money where I've purchased a lead gen system for like a couple months, and I'm not making the calls, and I'm not doing the proper follow ups with those leads just because I'm organically and blessed to be busy enough organically.
Yep.
Um, so I haven't done it like that, but I will because I know they can when done properly and put into a proper system, they can be super effective.
Yeah, and I think that that's probably where part of it for me is with the industry as a whole is that there's this misconception that this business can be built off of lead gen. And the reality is lead gen is just a conduit to be able to get more names and more eyeballs. If you're not doing the follow-up and having the systems in the background,
Yeah,
good luck capitalizing on it. This lead gen. And I think again, there's a missing piece to that for many people of looking around going, well, how are they converting? How are they making it work? Because look, 9 out of 10 realtors that I talk to that have tried the whole lead gen game, sit back and they're like, oh yeah, I've tried it, but it doesn't really work well for me. And I'm not really capitalizing like 9 out of 10.
yeah,
Right. And then that those like 1 in 10 that sit back and go, yeah, we make a wicked amount of money off of it. Why? Because the systems, because the processes, because there's the people power to make it work. Because if you're going to take it all on yourself right now, and even though with like an admin assistant that's there, do you have the people power to be able to follow up with all these people and actually convert those leads? And if the answer is no, to me, it's like, why are we bothering with this stuff?
Exactly. Like for me, I'd rather place my money, my marketing dollars somewhere else at this moment. And
Yeah.
for me, a lot of my budget goes toward making my videos, making
Yep.
building my personal brand. But yeah, for future, it is something I will be implementing. I will be investing in some lead gen, but I will need to have a proper system in place first.
Which is going to include like an ISA, like that's in there, inside sales agent that's going to be there helping you doing calls.
Buyer's agent, you
Yeah.
know, the traditional team models that really work.
Yeah. And when we talk about lead gen, are you also going to consider, or have you considered doing the traditional type of stuff of not just doing it online, but doing it offline as well? Getting out into the communities and connecting with people?
Yeah, I want to do a combination of all that. Yep.
Okay.
And in like numbers and having people with me, it'll be a lot more effective. Right now, again, I do a lot of dinners. COVID was difficult, but
Yeah, yeah.
I do a lot of dinners. I do a lot of weekends out. I do, me and my girlfriend, she's a realtor as well. We're always in front of people. We're always making sure we're
Yes.
out and, meeting new people, networking. It's my podcast is just insane networking. I have
Awesome.
another podcast on the side called It's Simple Podcast. That's more of like entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
Um, and that one's been insane networking because I have all these different guests at different levels and calibers and businesses. And I sit down with them. They find I'm a realtor, and then before you know it, bang, they're hey, start calling me.
Attaboy, attaboy. So tell me this, what we talk about the front facing stuff, doing videos, marketing ourselves, building that mind share. Um, what are you doing to create longevity for yourself in this business? I mean, you're a young dude. You've been in the business only 6 years. You got obviously a lot ahead of you, which is awesome, dude. But again, when we talk about longevity, I think again, I would throw it out there and say there are people that have been in this business 25 years who still aren't working their database. And you're like, what are you doing? Right?
Well, I say this on my podcast a lot too. Like we are real estate identity as a business. We have to treat it like a business, and that involves hiring people and systemizing and scaling properly. Like I'm burnt out. Like I last year I hit a wall where I didn't say, I did really well for myself, and I wasn't happy because I just hit this wall and I was burnt out. And I looked at myself and I'm like, okay, like, can I? This is 5 years now, but can I continue to do this? Like, I want to keep doing better, but I can't do this on my own. I can't imagine how me myself as a single individual human can go and do more. And like, it's possible. There are people who do that as solo agents incredibly well, but like for my own headspace and my own health, I just don't see that. Like, I don't like that vision. I don't align with it. So I started to really dig down, research, talk to people, talk to guys who have teams, talk to people who've been in the business for many years. And I do that through my podcast, luckily. And I've learned the power of scaling, systemizing, and just delegating tasks, right? And that's what I want to do for longevity, because I don't want to be waking up every single day working for every single dollar. I want to build more of a passive approach to life in the future through my own investments and through building a team. I also really enjoy helping people. So if I'm at a level where I'm able to help people who start to work with me become their best versions of themselves on a personal level and also kill the game in real estate, then like that's a win for me.
You know, helping people is the key.
Yeah.
When you're helping other people, I mean, you don't do it to be helped in return. That said, help enough people and somehow you get help back in return. It's a special thing, but I think it takes time. And so people don't like to focus too much time because everybody's so busy. Right. But it's for those of us that do realize that, when you're out there trying to help more and more and more people, somehow just good things come back.
Yep.
I don't know that there's much that's more rewarding than that. You know what I mean?
There's someone told me a while ago, like read autobiographies, like look into super, super uber successful people. Like one example I always use is Tony Robbins, and the guy's got everything he could ever want in life, but the only thing that makes him happy and true fulfillment comes from helping humans, helping other people. And you see that pattern in more and more people at that level. It's like you have everything, money's not an issue, you've accumulated everything you ever wanted, but there's a high chance you still may not be happy. So there's other avenues of finding that happiness. And when it comes to helping other people, whether it's biology or whatever it is, but helping humans is the most fulfilling thing. So I want to be able to put myself in a position where I can do that. And what ends up happening is money is just like a byproduct of that. So I'm not like money focused. I'm a relationship people focused first. I want to build really cool value in the world and make whatever kind of impact I can, whether it's like, super, super small, but even so, like that'll just.
Dude, you know what I love right now? I love the people that right now, as they listen to us talk about this, that are rolling their eyes. Like, yeah, okay, these guys, like, sure, you just want to make money, and I'll be straight. Yeah, I want to make money. Absolutely, I want to make a lot of money. Yeah, I'm not going to hide that from anybody. I really enjoy helping people.
Yeah.
And I've realized that when I wake up in the morning and I focus on helping other people, somehow from a personal perspective, be it financially, spiritually, be it anything, mindset, I grow.
Yeah.
And so if I'm out there helping, all these other things are working, the money's just a cherry on top at that point. And it follows, right? But you got to genuinely want to get out there and help people. And again, I laugh at the people that are rolling their eyes at us right now. But I mean, again, when you can change that mindset and start doing that, it's incredible the things that happen for you.
Well, you can't reinvent the wheel, right? Like that's why, like, study all these people. You'll see they all say the same thing. They all say the same things.
Dude, I just finished a book by 50 Cent.
Oh, nice.
Anybody that knows 50 Cent is going to think, oh, what? That gangster rapper, this, that, whatever. Yeah, go read the book.
What's it
Okay,
called?
go read the book. Right? Kevin Hart, comedian.
Yeah.
Biggest, I mean, not physically the biggest comedian in the world, but the guy he still doesn't think he made it.
Yeah.
Right? Like you start reading that stuff, and I think that's a reality check for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I've got sort of like a double-edged question this because it's something that we read out in the bio. So just before I ask that part of the question, I did want to ask you, like, social media strategy, which we talked about a few moments ago. We talked about the time you spend actually doing. In terms of planning, and that's just more, this is more of a strategic sort of question there. In terms of the time that you spend planning, doing the videos, doing the recording, prepping, whatever, how much time a day, a week, or a month do you, Matt, never mind your team, spend actually physically planning like the execution of everything that's going to go out?
A good chunk, man. I can't put like an exact time on that,
But it takes effort.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Like I'm always on. I'm constantly having calls with the podcast team, meetings. Just networking on different ideas how to grow there. When I do consume content, I'm consuming it consciously. So I'm looking at what's working. Again, looking at top individuals, not just real estate, just in life in general. Like, what are they doing that's bringing engagement towards them? But yeah, like it's just throughout the day. I could be driving and then bang, I have an idea. Like set a reminder on my phone. Or, like for me,
where do you put that? Like, do you have an app that you notes or something? Like I use Trello.
Yeah, no, I don't. So our podcast team, we use Trello. For my ideas, I'll just throw them in my notes in my phone.
Cool. Okay.
Or I write them down. Like I'm very old school. Like I'm very into
Dude, that used to be me. Trello like got me into like the ability to like have it on my desktop, have it on my phone, and just be able to like put it in because like I got so driven nuts by the notebook just flipping through because my mind would be going off like crazy, right? But
I love it. For me, it's like a disconnect from technology. So like I like actually physically.
That's cool. I'll give you that. I still got one of these in my hand. Pen, one's most powerful thing out there.
Yep.
Okay. This is where I was going with that. Named top 20 real estate agents on social media.
Name top 20.
Weren't you named? No, weren't you named? You were named as as one of the top 20.
A couple times, yeah. Recently, again.
Congrats.
I don't know if I was like number 4 or something, but yeah, it was up there.
Wicked, dude. Again, what's that? Just again, would you boil that down to consistency?
Yeah, I don't know how their criteria and how they choose.
Okay.
I think it's strictly just their perception of you on socials, like engagement, all that stuff. I don't know exactly. I don't know how they analyze and things like that. But I just get randomly tagged in a post, And then I click the post and there's an article written and I'm just ranked number like 5 or 6 or whatever, you know? And I'm like, cool. I remember the first time it happened to me, I was 20, it was like 3 years in the business. And that's when like, oh my, holy shit, that's what? Like I'm on, who am I? You know?
Do you think that's because of the videos you were doing? Do you think that was the value of that? Like, I mean, somebody will post a selfie of themselves having a coffee and they're not hitting top 20.
Yeah.
Not to say that you shouldn't post a selfie of yourself having a coffee. I don't know, but I'm just going like, what do you think it was that led up to that? Was it the fact that you got into the video thing and just started doing that? That really has it brought that together for you?
I think again, I'm just being unique, man. Just being true
Okay.
because no one can go out there and be me because
Right.
I can't go out there and be them. I can't be David because David is David.
Yep.
I think just the authenticity and people can see it. If you meet me in person, I'm the exact same person you met online. And people always comment on that. Minus the fact that they think I'm short, which is
In
weird.
person or online, they think you're short.
They think I'm short online. So when they meet me, like, oh, you're way taller than me.
Oh, okay.
What am I like? Are the angles off? Like, what's going on? Like,
All right, cool. So it's a good thing. It's not like, holy shit, I saw you online, but I meet you in person. You're way shorter than I thought.
no, I'm way taller.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Well, that's better than hearing you're way shorter.
Well,
But
that's exactly where I was going to,
oh
right?
yeah, so
Um,
yeah, so it's just I think just the authenticity. I think they just see like, hey, this guy's being real. He's been true to his name. He's not, he's being different in his own way, in his own light, and he's rolling with it. They respect it, maybe. Like I don't know which criteria they choose, but like majority of my content is video, so I would imagine it's from pumping out
but
video.
it's you being you.
Maybe me.
That's it. Same
Yep.
guy you meet on or you see on video, you meet in person.
That's it. I get random ideas in the shower sometimes. Like, let's do a video on this now.
Dude, isn't that how do you write that stuff down? I've been thinking about that. I'm like, I got to come up with something that like I try to write it on the glass and then, obviously when the shot you're done, fuck, it's gone. Right. I like seriously though, this is a problem. I thought about crayons that I can write on the tiles, but then I thought my wife might get pissed off at me. I'm trying to think about it.
As soon as I'm out of the shower, I'm on my phone, even though like sometimes with the water, it doesn't even register. I'm just
so I'm not the only one with this problem.
yeah.
All right, cool. So here we've talked about the importance of database. I was going to ask you about your daily MO when it comes to building and maintaining relationships, but I think we talked a lot about that. You spend time on the phones, you're out there on stories, you're connecting with people through DMs, like, you're out doing dinners a lot. Like, I think that is massive stuff. And again, you've really stressed the importance today about the, work in the database. And like, that's where a lot of the growth comes from. And I would sort of like piggyback that onto what I asked you a moment ago about like longevity in the business, and I would say it to you, and I think you get it. And I say it to everybody tuned in right now. It's your database. Like it's your database, it's your database, it's your database. You build up that network, you get a ton of people in that network, and you continue to, focus on that network. Hey man, the average realtor's seen 70, 90% of their business from that network. You've obviously seen it. You've had great growth because of it. That right there is again where the longevity in this business comes from. And I also truly believe that as we start to get a little bit older and not have as much energy and whatever, and we want to focus on different things or travel more, that network will feed us.
Yeah.
So that's big stuff. But let's talk to your podcast because you've brought it up a few times. I wanted to bring it up for you. You host a podcast. We talk about time involved. I'd even ask you like, why do you do it? And I mean, I get it, but I want to give you the opportunity to maybe share that with people. You're in real estate. Why are we taking time to sit down and record a podcast? You mentioned actually having two. And again, how much time are we putting into this on a regular?
So, I mean, like I said, I mentioned the first podcast, which I still do. It's called The Simple Podcast, more of a general. Me and a couple buddies, we just pre-COVID actually, we saw there was a little bit of a gap. Because of my age, I had a lot of people around my age reaching out, asking questions, and advice, things like that. So my buddy's also very successful at a very young age. He had cancer at a very young age. Anyways, long story short, we saw this opportunity. Like, let's get in front of the mic and let's just start bringing on people to just inspire more people. Nice. We want to know everyone. Instagram, social media is a highlight reel. It's like all people's successes. It's like, cool, you got a nice car, but no one's gonna post about the shit they had or the failures, right? Your Instagram is your highlight reel. So our goal is to bring people on to say, hey, did you fail in the beginning? Like, did you have a hard time? And like, yeah, it's fucking rough, but now I'm here because of this. So it's like more just for an inspirational approach. That gave me a lot of experience in podcasting. And then my partners on Price to Sell, which is my real estate one, which is the one that we're currently talking about. They hit me up, and they're also very big podcasters, and they said, "Listen, we want to start a real estate podcast. You're the guy. So when can we start?" I'm like, "Oh, come on, man! Like I have like no time. Like this is gonna be a lot for me. A big workload on my plate." They're like, "We don't care."
Yeah, you got no choice, bro.
I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let's dive right in. So it's been the best thing I've ever done, man. And I didn't know my true purpose and vision with the podcast when I started. Again, I just kind of went with the flow on that one. And what I learned now is how much other realtors have been impacting, and the value that other agents are getting out of this. And so I have my agent following just skyrocketed, and I have agents stopping me on the street now. I'm speaking for a couple of different brokerages just to talk about stuff because they become fans. And it's actually like I get guys call me all the time saying, "Hey, like because of you, I didn't quit this year."
Yeah, that a boy. Way to be, man.
So it's like I was literally about to quit, and then I heard one of your podcasts, and then I got inspired, and something you mentioned on there like really inspired me, and I'm gonna keep going now. So that's why I do it. I do it for those things. I get DMs all the time, or people in person reaching out to me or calling me, and that support that justifies and validates why I'm doing it, and it's been consistent with it. It's been growing at a good rate, and it's exciting, man. And now it's like one of my favorite things to do. And in terms of how much I'm doing, recording and stuff, we're doing like about 3 episodes a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
how long is each episode?
30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they're
Cool.
banked. Like we're recorded for about 3 months right now, if I was to stop.
Nice. And pardon me, those are pre-recorded in terms of, okay, gotcha. So you just have all this content out there. It's ready to rock. So you're probably recording those on one day, maybe 3 in a row?
No, that's exhausting.
Okay. Wow.
3 days in the week. Sometimes I'll double up, but max of there's 2. It's a lot of energy.
Okay. So here's the deal then. So, I was going to ask you a one-man show, just in general, but you've mentioned you've got an assistant.
Yep.
You've got a team that's helping you with the podcast.
The team of about 6 of us.
6 of you helping with the podcast.
Yep.
That's from videographer, marketing people, editing people. You said some partners or something.
My strategic partners that help me source guests. They have a great network. Those guys are like networking.
Okay, cool.
So,
cool. So there are, although the audience, the industry is seeing Matthew Campoli, you have a group of people in the background that are actually helping you execute on all this stuff. Because again, being a one-man show to get as much done as you're getting done, next to impossible is not enough hours in a day.
No,
okay.
And this system and the podcast that they're running has taught me a lot about systemizing and the power of it. Because I show up, I speak, I leave.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Beautiful.
Everything's just like done.
Beautiful. So talk to me about this then. Time, right? Big deal. How are you? And I dare use the term managing time, because none of us can actually manage time. We can empower time to manage us. Time will not stop, right? Our clocks keep going. How are you empowering time to manage you? Are you a guy that's scheduled? Do you look at the clock? Do you pay attention to the watch? Do you operate from a calendar on a daily basis? I know you already kind of mentioned you're a pen and paper type of guy, but talk to me about that for a sec.
So every single day I have a morning routine that's structured.
Is it in a calendar? Can you see it, or is it up in the mind?
It's in the calendar.
Okay, cool. Love that.
And it's blocked off for me. So that's my me time in the morning. That's when like a lot of my ideas, my creativity flows.
Yep.
I don't want to be, and it's early, so I'm not like jumping on phone calls and like automatic like flight or flight. I like to wake up. I'm not doing social media. Like I'm trying to, get in tune with myself, get my mindset right for the day, and then that sets the precedent for the rest of my day. But throughout the day, I am very structured. So I have everything booked in my calendar, in and around that, filled up by, random events that just pop up in the day, phone calls. And then, but yes, there's a lot of majority of my day. I do got to get better with some of my boundary setting, which is what I learned recently, because sometimes I will take things when I don't necessarily need to take things on. And the hours will fly by because I'm not really paying attention to what's happening. Like, holy shit, it's already 6 p.m., right? So I think a balanced life is crucial. And like I'm a deal junkie. So even when I'm sitting on the couch, I'm like, how can I go sell a house right now? Like, how can I, like, what can I do? Like, I can't. So I already have that issue with myself that I got to fix. But yeah, I'm pretty much just like always trying to make shit happen. But I've become conscious of that and aware that I need to balance a little bit better to, for family, for friends, for myself.
Do you have days where you sit back and go, did I even accomplish anything today?
It depends. If I will maybe set a Sunday and be like, all right, let me do some stuff in the morning just so I can like feel better about myself because I did something. But then that by doing that little thing, the rest of the day by not doing anything is like my reward. So I feel good about it.
Okay.
Right. I don't want to have that thought process like that.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that especially when you're that A-type personality, you're running and getting a lot done in a day. Sometimes it's easy to sit back and go, I know I did a lot, but did I accomplish anything? Especially when you're a deal junkie. And I get that. I totally get that. Because if I'm sitting down doing nothing, I know the ping pong ball up here is going crazy, going, okay, what else has got to be done right now?
Yeah. Oh, there's days where like I'm like, in appointments, computer, emails, phone calls, and 9 o'clock hits, and I actually did so much physically, but in my head I'm still like, but did I do anything?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Did I accomplish anything?
Did I actually do something?
Yeah. See, that's part. I'll tell you, that's part of the system that like we work on with our coaching clients. Like I go through that because that is something I find most, and I know I've struggled with that in the past. I do not any longer. Like I've cracked that code. People sit back and go like, I smashed it today. I went through everything. I know I sound like a broken record to everybody that tunes in on a regular basis, but like I will get more done in a day than most people do in a week, only for the fact that like we know how to delegate, we know how to organize, we know how to get things done. And again, it's very, very structured on what needs to be done within certain time frames. But dude, that also allows for a lot of enjoyment of life. That allows for hanging out with the kids and going in, to sports and hockey and baseball and going to the gym and working out on a regular basis. Like there's a lot of playtime that gets involved as well, right? So it's a structure, man. But it's I think a lot of people go through that challenge. So I was curious for you how you sort of manage the days there to get as much as you are done, because there's people that can't keep up with, and the deals they're going through. And listen, if you got that many deals, that's a good problem to have as well. But I think at the same time too, it sort of stops from that work-life balance. It's just work. There's not enough time for life. And if there is life, people are like, well, but like, I don't know if I'm allowed to do that right now because I haven't worked enough. I don't know. It's got to be systematized.
For sure.
Hey, so let's go here because I told you I'd bring this one up. You talked about doing funny videos. You talked about just putting yourself out there. And you, I think you've entered yourself into a competition. And I saw a video you just put out the other day, which I give you total credit for putting that out there, brother. I love it. Talk to us about this competition you're in, man. How can we and how can this audience help you get there?
Man, see, I don't know how they're picking the winner and when. It's been killing me.
How can we help you, Matt?
So, Ryan Serhant's big role model for me. Inspirational dude, what he's created. I've read both his books. I feel like share a lot of similarities in his beginnings and everything. And he put out a contest where the winner, it has to be a realtor, but the winner can win a day in his shoes as Ryan. And I recently in May I went to New York on my own on a whim. I'm like, I'm gonna go meet this guy, and he just saw. No, he was in the Maldives, but I made it in his office. So I'm like,
So you decide I'm going to New York. I got no meeting with this guy. I'm just going to go to New York and walk into his office.
Yeah, and I was going to just strategically network with some people prior to like make it more of like a warm intro.
Way to be, man.
But he wasn't there.
That's what you call hustle, people. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he wasn't there, but I still set up a meeting with like 2 of his guys, and I got in his office, and that was like a little kid in a candy store. But he put this contest out, win a day in his shoes, and you just have to put on a video and explain your why you get up every day, why you do what you do, what fuels you to keep going every single day, and what you would do as Ryan in a day. So you get his team, his desk, his office, his driver, his assistant, his vlogging person, his whole system is yours for the day. So I made a video, and I happened to have colored my hair white for the video.
Yeah, I saw that, bro.
So, told,
You're like, you went all out.
all out, man. On a whim, I was like, do I do this video or not? Do I do it? I'm like, I drove by Party City. I'm like, screw it. Let me just buy this
Let's go.
hairspray. And then my girlfriend helped me film it. And then I had it edited quickly and we just rocked it. And it did exceptionally well, man. Like the response was insane. Like I have
wicked, dude.
you know, crazy amount of engagement. Like support was wicked. Even the guy I met in New York, he even commented and tagged everyone on the Sirhan team.
Yeah, nice.
To try and like help me with exposure, but I don't know how he's gonna pick the winner and when. So I'd literally
Is there somewhere we can send people? Like, is there a website that we could like send people say go here and vote for Matt, or no, that doesn't exist?
On that video on my page, you'll see me with white hair and holding Ryan Sirhan's book, and just tag Ryan and hashtag business in a box.
That's all right. So everybody hear that, right? Go over to Matt. Go, Matt. What's your handle?
At Matt Campoli.
At Matt Campoli. So go over to at Matt Campoli. Here, we'll throw it up on the screen right here. At Matt Campoli. Go over there to his Insta. Tell me if I got that right. Right here. Hold on. Right here. Did we get that right?
Yep.
All right, cool. Go over to his Instagram. Check that out. Make sure you find that video. It's not going to be the hard one to find. He's got white hair. He's wearing I think, blue suit. Comment on it. Share it for him if you can. Tag. Do what you got to do. Let's make some noise around that video for this guy. Dude, I give you mad credit for going out there and doing that, putting yourself out there in that way. And I wish you all the success in the world with it, man. I hope that it works out for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It'd be a little dream come true. I'm just waiting for like a phone call from New York to come in.
For real, dude. Yeah, exactly. It's coming. Yeah. It's definitely coming, right? So here, as we close out, 2 last questions, or maybe 3, but real quick. This one is completely different to a lot of the stuff we talked about today, but how do you know it's been a successful day for you?
Well, waking up, number 1.
Yeah, all right.
That in itself. I'm just a big grateful gratitude guy. Like I'm a big journaler, gratitude journaler. Like,
yeah, me too, dude. Love the fact that you're great. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah. So like I'm just grateful in general. So every day for me is just like in the position that I'm currently in is a successful day. And if I'm able to, meet a new person or impact a new person or, help in any way in my day, whether that's, helping a client purchase their house and, seeing the smile on their face or whatever, at any capacity, that's a successful day for me.
Nice. Love that.
Doing deals is also great too, but
yeah, for sure. But again, it's so much deeper than that, as we talked about, right?
Yeah.
Matt, give us some final words, man. Some final words and some tips, something to help everybody get out there and help themselves build a lot more mind share, so that everybody out there can get more market share.
Yeah, like just so video is crucial. Put yourself, if you want to start with like a little intro video to who you are, your story, like people resonate with that stuff. If people are trying to hire you and you just have just sold, just listed all over your page, how do they know who the real you is? Like, how are they, what's a day going to look like with them using you as their realtor? They want to be able to relate to you, feel comfortable. And by putting yourself out there, your true authentic self on camera consistently, people are going to resonate with that and feel inclined to use you. It's like, wow, I feel like this guy would be a fun time, or I feel like this guy's very educated, I'm going to use him, or this guy's really analytical, so am I. So like put yourself out there and you're going to attract those same individuals as consumers. And, but if you don't, like, you're just doing yourself a disservice.
Find your people.
Yeah. Find your people.
Right. Put yourself out there and you'll find your people. I love that. Dude, where can people find you? I'll throw this back up there at Matt Campoli, hashtag business in a box for that particular contest. But where would you send people to? We obviously have the Instagram at Matt Campoli. Where else do you want people to visit? Or is that the spot for you?
You can visit me there. The podcast is Price to Sell Podcast. If you want to give us a follow, subscribe on there. We just launched our new channel called Field Trips. So I'm actually interviewing agents in different cities now. We started in Miami. I'm doing Bahamas in 2 weeks. I'm doing New York.
Are you physically going down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at you, bro.
Yeah. We're doing a podcast, but we're also recording a really cool house tour in one of their crazy listings. So I'm, hitting it from an angle there too. So if you guys enjoyed really cool properties around the world, subscribe to that because we're going to bring some really cool stuff. But yeah, Price to Sell and Matt Campoli.
Wicked. Everybody, I encourage you guys to check them out. Visit them on Insta at Matt Campoli. Check out the Price to Sell podcast. Dude, you're doing some amazing things out there, man. It's obviously being noticed by many, and I just thank you very much for joining us on the Mindshare podcast today.
No, it's been a pleasure, man. Right back at you. I love what you're doing, and I love to see these kinds of things. And I'm excited to have you on mine. We have your
Yeah,
schedule.
bro. Looking forward to it, buddy.
We're gonna have roles reversed. I'm interviewing you next time. So
Let's go, man. I'm ready for it. Ready. Put me in, coach. Put me in.
let's do it. Let's do
All
it.
right, dude. Matt, thank you, man. I'll be right back with you, bud.
Sounds good.
All right,
Thanks,
dude.
guys.
Thanks. You are either watching us live, you are listening to this recording, you're listening on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify. I mean, geez, there's so many Google podcasts, you name it. I can name a million places. Maybe you went to mindshare101.com. And while you're on my site, make sure to download your free copy of the Ultimate Marketing Bundle for Realtors. This is a 31-page ebook packed with a ton of tips and tricks for you. Plus, it's ready to go 90-day social media content calendar to help you build more mind share so that you can get more market share. And if you want to talk about personalized one-to-one coaching, maybe an in-person keynote talk for your upcoming event, maybe some ongoing virtual training, get in touch with our team. One of our Mindshare experience coordinators will definitely get back to you, and we will talk to you about exactly how we can help you with that. Don't forget that our push to 100 is on. All you have to do is go over to ratethispodcast.com/Mindshare101. It is super easy. Just click that link, ratethispodcast.com/Mindshare101. 5 stars, leave a nice review. We are grateful. I thank you in advance. And of course, if we haven't yet, connect me on Facebook at Mindshare101 and on Instagram at David Greenspan 101. I want to take a moment here to thank Virginia Munden and the Buzz Conference for sponsoring today's episode. Be sure to visit their website, www.thebuzzconference.com. Follow them on Instagram at The Buzz Conference. Keep tabs on all of the amazing events they are always hosting, along with getting the latest copy of the Buzz digital magazine. And make sure you put this date in your calendar right now. It is January 12th, 2023. Mark it as called Disruption. This is the next Buzz Conference event. You can go over to www.thebuzzconference.com to get your tickets. Do that in just a moment. Of course, I want to thank Kids Keep in Touch Systems for sponsoring today's episode. Remember that the WOW calendars are about to start early bird ordering. If you haven't checked us out yet, go to my site, mindshare101.com, and click on marketing. This has been another episode of the Mindshare podcast. Thank you for tuning in.